If a shark bites the internet cable which is installed beneath the ocean surface, then how will it be repaired? Inside such a big ocean, how will anyone be able to identify the exact location of the damage? All the social media applications which we use in our daily lives, including the global tax system, are all connected to the submarine cables which are installed beneath the ocean surface. 99% of the internet traffic travels through the cables which are installed below the ocean surface. It is a traffic highway which we cannot see, but we use it in our daily lives. I welcome you all to yet another video on my channel. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you like, subscribe and tap the bell icon. The network of the undersea cables is so big that it has kept the continents connected to each other. These cables are installed at the depth of 8,000 meters below the ocean surface. The pressure at this depth is 5,300 kgs per square inch. This kind of pressure is as good as placing an African elephant on the smallest finger of the foot. At such intense pressure levels, the smallest distance between internet cables are passing between Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan. The length of this distance is 300 kilometers and the longest distance is 6,600 kilometers. It has been named as Maria Cable. It starts from the Virginia Beach in America and passes through the deep waters of Atlantic Ocean and ends at Bilbao in Spain. If we talk about the total distance that is covered with the internet cables underneath the ocean, it totals up to 1.4 million kilometers. The distance is so much that it will cover all the planets and all the moons which are present in our solar system. Still, there will be so much of cable that will be left that we can cover the earth once again with the cable. It is understood that installing such big cables underneath the ocean is not an easy job. Installing 1 kilometer of the internet cable underneath the ocean will cost around 2.5 million US dollars. Now you can estimate what would have been the cost of installing 14.5 lakhs kilometers of the internet cable. But what was the need of doing such a tough job? With the recent technological advancements, satellites could be used to connect the whole world wirelessly. As per recent statistics, there are 493 submarine cables that are currently present in the world. Every cable can transmit data up to 4000 terabyte per second. It means with just one internet cable, 8 crore people can watch live stream on the television at the same time. Similarly, there are 493 cables which are currently present. In comparison with satellite technology, satellites would only be able to live stream 24,000 televisions at the same time. So to fulfill the demand of the entire population, there would be a lot of satellites that would be required and the installation and maintenance would be too expensive. Compared to submarine cables, the maintenance of satellite is expensive and challenging. And if due to any reason there is a major fault in the satellite, the replacement cost would range around 400 million US dollars. This is the reason why using internet through the submarine cables is more easier than using the satellite and its wireless connectivity. The undersea highway is transmitting crore gigabytes of data continuously, which means that the thickness of this highway is more than any of the other cables. The thickness of the submarine cables can be up to 20 times more than the thickness of the cables which we use regularly. The outer layer of the submarine cable is as thick as a hose pipe, but the inner layer is as thin as a hair. Now the question would be, how can the data be transmitted through such a thin wire? This hair-like thin wire is considered as the core of the cable, which is either made out of glass or plastic. There is light that travels through the cable which transmits data in small packets. First, the data which is present in the computer is transmitted into light signal through a transmitter. The transmission is done with the help of laser light or LED. There are only two parts of the transmission, ones and zeros. Light pulse is represented as 1 and when there is no pulse, it is represented as 0. Transmitting the pulse from one location to another is done by the core. The pulses travel through the core with the help of light. The layer that protects the core is called as cladding, and this layer prevents the light from going outside the core. If the light tries to escape the core layer, the cladding layer helps the light to bounce back within the core layer. This process is known as total internal reflection. The signal sometimes gets weaker due to the length of the wires. To prevent the signals from getting weak, at every 100 kilometers there is a repeater which helps in keeping the signal strong. To ensure the repeater is working without problems, a layer of copper covers the cladding which passes 10,000 volts of direct current. Since there is no source of power in the middle of the ocean, the only way to power these amplifiers is by transferring power through the copper cables. Fiber optics cables are capable to send more than one signal at a time. This technique is also known as wavelength division multiplexing. All the colors of the lights are transferred through the fiber optics cable, and each color of light has a different set of data present in it. As we all know, the speed of light is 1079 million kilometers per hour, which means the data is transferred from one location to another within a blink of an eye. When the data travels for more than 1000 kilometers, photodiodes and photodetectors help the data to get converted into electrical signals, after which the mobiles and computers reconstruct the data into graphics or any other form. Apart from core, cladding and copper layers, there are 7 other layers which make the cables much more thicker. These 7 layers prevent the water from getting inside the cable. Despite of the thick and protected layers, the submarine cables are prone to earthquakes, shark attacks and volcanic eruptions under the sea surface. But the biggest reason that leads to the damage in these cables is fishing. Some vessels hunt the fishes which are present at the bottom of the ocean with a trawl door which is tied to a rope that connects the vessel. The trawl door is dropped till the ocean floor and dragged across to trap the fishes inside its net. When the trawl door is mistakenly dropped near the submarine cables, there will be a lot of damage when it comes in contact with the submarine cables. Now I am sure that there is only one doubt in your mind about how the submarine cables are repaired in the depths of such a big ocean. Repairing the cables is a secondary concern. The primary concern is how do we find the location of the damage in such a big ocean. Thanks to the modern technology, the size of the submarine cables are 1 inch thick and the weight of 1 kilometer wire is 1400 kgs, which equals to the weight of a sedan car. The installation of these wires at the bottom of the oceans are done by special ships. After complete research, when the location where the wires are to be installed is decided, the wires are then loaded into the ship. When the ship reaches the installation location, a special robotic machine that can be used on the ocean floor is used to drill a hole up to 1 meter at the bottom of the surface, and that is how the cables are installed. The installation of these cables is a very slow and steady process, and it is done with a lot of due diligence. As per an estimate, installation of the cable, which is 6,600 kilometers long, that connects USA and Europe, took 2 years for its completion. When the installation of wires from one vessel is complete, another vessel which is fully loaded with the cables is brought to the location, and the installation process is then continued. The weather conditions play a major role during the installation of these cables. The wind blows rapidly in the ocean throughout the year, and it is very uncertain about when these winds will take a shape of a tornado. These tornadoes are out of the control of humans. Apart from the tornadoes, there is always a danger of a category 1 hurricane. At the time of making this video, there is a presence of a category 1 hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, which as per estimates is going to hit Ireland on 23rd August. Due to the presence of tornadoes and hurricanes in the oceans, the process of installation is always delayed till the weather gets back to normal. Now that you know the challenges that are faced during installation, you can imagine how difficult the repair process will be. At both ends of the submarine cables, there are data centers that monitor the cable activity 24/7. When the signals between both the data centers are interrupted, it only means that there is a breakage in the submarine cable. There is a special device that is used to pinpoint the location of the breakage of the cable, and the name of the device is Optical Time Domain Reflectometer. This device sends light pulse from both the ends, and because the cable is broken, the light pulse travels back to the data center. The time duration of the pulse when it travels back to the data center is calculated, and the distance of the damage is measured based on this time duration. The process helps in knowing after how many kilometers there is a damage. The same process is followed by both the data centers so that the exact location is confirmed. From both the data centers, the flow of direct current is turned off. The repair process is then carried forward by ROVs, which are sent to the bottom of the ocean to investigate the area of damage. Then the cables are pulled towards the vessels, after which the damaged area of the cable is then cut apart and replaced with a new one. Since the core of the fiber optic is made out of glass, this process is done with a lot of due diligence so that the repaired glass can get connected with another glass without any problems. The repair process is called as splicing. In case if there is a shortage of cable or in case the depth is too much, in such cases one end of the cable is lifted, after which an additional wire is attached to the cable and dropped down. The same process is followed to fix the other end of the wire. I hope your doubts about using the submarine cable and its installation, usage and repair have all been discussed and cleared. Please make sure you like, subscribe and tap the bell icon for more such videos, and thank you so much for watching this video.